Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Hamda.
Today's guest, you met her before. She was featured on PBS's Modern Comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Subhah Agarwal.
Hey.
How are you, Subhah?
I'm good.
It's good to see you again. You're rating for True TV's Comedy Knockout.
Yes.
How do we feel rating versus doing stand-up?
Well, there's nothing that feels even close to doing stand-up. You know what I mean? Like the high, how live it is. I mean, there's so many things I love about it. Like I get to interact with people. I mean, it's kind of pathetic, but sometimes that's like the first interaction other than ordering food I've had all day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And they're not supposed to interact with you. So that's very interesting.
Sometimes comics are like, oh, they did a lot of crowd work. And I'm like, yeah, I'm very lonely. I don't care. I'm going to talk to them too.
Speaking of crowd work, last time I saw you on stage, I believe, or one of the last times I saw you was Heat Wave, which is Andrea Allen and Emily Lubin's show. It's a monthly. And you were on the first one. And there was, everyone sort of looks like a Queens crowd, about 30s and 40s. And then you see this couple who is everybody's parents' age, right? And,
oh, no. I remember this.
And they happen to be Indian, and so do you. And you started talking to them, and then they kind of started to talk too much. They got a little bit, out of hand for a nice, sweet little couple.
I know.
And she goes,
Now, did you engage them? Is that how it started?
I did engage them.
But everyone was engaging them beforehand.
People don't understand they're just being used. And you guys are assholes. And if the crowd can learn that.
Yeah, it was, they were encouraging. Everyone's asking them questions because they stood out. It's like, what are you doing here? And so they start talking and she goes, you know what? Shut the fuck up. And the whole crowd goes nuts. It was very, very funny. Great timing. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, Subah's just like me, right? Like immigrant parents. Like you never told your parents to shut the fuck up.
No.
And this is kind of like telling them that. I was like, Subhah can do it. I can do it. Tell them, because I automatically would be like, this is going to get to my parents somehow. I'm like talking to my parents.
I called my mom after the show.
But that's when afterwards I was like, wow, good job. Like she just talked to them like they were normal human beings, any other person. It didn't have to be like, these are my elders. Right. And she was like, oh, I feel like shit. I don't know what I did. I got to call my parents. This is terrible.
Do you apologize to them on stage?
I don't think I said I was sorry. I think I said, I was like, man, I would feel a lot less guilty if you were white. I think I said that.
Shut the fuck up if you want to.
It was so strong. And then eventually she did say something like, holy shit, I think I just cursed out my parents or something. It was very, very funny and very freeing for me. Thank you. That sounded negative. You know what I mean.
And then Kenda said other things I'd like you to kind of tell my parents. Right. You never let me grow. Subah's Twitter, she wrote, what type of woman raised me? Well, she's really only complimented me on my roast battles she found online.
Nuh-uh.
Hashtag got it from my mama. Hashtag vicious. First of all, let me talk about these roast battles. Did they ever hurt your feelings?
Oh, yeah. I'm such a pussy. It's terrible. Like I did it as a point of being, I can do this to myself. And actually, I think it did get me make me learn how to get a thicker skin. But oh my God, I would win the battles and everybody would be like, oh, congratulations. And I would be furious.
What's a joke or two that somebody said that you're like, you mean this? This stings.
Well, it was like this one comic. Nothing happened between us, really. Like, we got drunk and we made out, but we were just friends. It never really went further than that. And then he brought it up on stage, even though I didn't want him to bring it up on stage, and I lost it. Like, you can literally see I was kind of losing the battle because I was like, I had kid gloves on because this is my friend, and then you can see me snap and then just get so vicious that they had to cut out part of the roast before they posted it on.
Holy shit.
Are you just like, fuck you, tiny dick?
Like, I snapped.
Where did you go with it?
Well, I asked his permission. I was going to kind of broach it, but I really went ham. He talks about his mom having... He talks about his mom having cancer and getting cheated on stage.
Okay.
So I just went completely in, on that. Like I said, she got rid of the cancer on whatever his birthday was. Like, I listed his birthday when she gave birth to this guy. And I was like, I started talking about her getting cheated.
He was the cancer.
Yeah, he was the cancer.
Right.
And then I started talking about her getting cheated on. And I was like, yeah. While she had cancer, I'm like, I guess in Judaism, it's told stage 2 do us part. Like, I was just so fucking terrible.
Were people into it?
Oh, people loved it. It's just that crowd was full of monsters.
Did you win after
I
all?
won.
So, what did you learn? Because I know what I learned just now.
Would
Go
you
ham or go home.
Right. Did you say to him ahead of time, hey, let's not talk about me making out? It embarrasses me. You're disgusting.
I did. And then, like, I mean, I'm not. It's like I knew it was going to make me angry, but I'm also like I have emotions, but I don't take them that seriously. Like, it's weird. Like, there's like...
I'm aware of things that happen in my brain, but I ignore them.
Like, I know how I'm going to react. Like, I know this is going to make me angry, but there's also a part of my brain that goes, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't really matter. So he's like, I'm probably going to bring it up anyway. And I was like, all right. But you know what I mean? So it was like a friendly thing. Like, I'm like, don't do it. And he's like, I'm probably going to do it. And I was like, okay.
This is some friendly thing. Do you know what the word means?
Did you talk to him afterwards?
Yeah, we're good friends.
We made out again. I can't help it. I can't help it. And he'll use that against me. When your mom sees this, does she say so she is proud of you doing the roast battles? Not like, what happened to my daughter?
She thought that was the funniest because she was like, oh, it's really clever. It's very off the cuff. Like, you have to be very smart to do it. Like, at all my stand up, the other show I'm writing from, she's like, yeah, I guess people like it. And I was like, oh, thanks, Mom.
Wow.
She's like, no, she even phrased it. She's like, I guess people like you. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And she's like, no, I meant you on stage. And I was like, still not better.
No, I meant
what? Does she watch your show?
I fucked up. I told her to watch it because she'll ask me now if she can watch shows. Okay. And I told her to watch it because I forgot. It's a little vulgar. Comedy Knockout isn't that vulgar, but it's still a little bitey.
What is it that you write for it?
It's like a comedy game show. So like one of the questions that they asked us is which worse is worse, like having sex with your parents once or having to watch them have sex every night. And I said I couldn't have sex with my parents because I've already fucked my mother badly enough by becoming a comic. And she's like, why would you tell everyone you fucked me? And I was like, oh my God. Like, I completely forgot I said that.
It's funny because after you're in comedy for so long, everything feels like a softball.
I know.
And then you're like, oh yeah, my parents could watch it. And then you forget to watch it with their eyes beforehand because you know that would have like hit you.
Yeah.
And she was like complaining about our other relatives. Like, one of them just found my name on TV Guide randomly. He was like, oh, look. And then he was
on TV what?
On TV Guide. Like, I guess he saw my name come up when he was surfing through the channels.
Oh, they're still in 1980. That's nice.
Subah's asks, MTV, hey, can you, or True TV, you don't have to list my name. I don't need any credits, actually. Can you blur my face? I know this isn't good for my career, but... Subah tweeted out, before I drink, I text my ex-boyfriends pictures of my vodka so they have an explanation of what's about to happen. # drunk text responsibly. Are you bad at that? Do you drunk text?
I do.
Like how?
Lot.
Like I want you back or you blew it?
No, I'm mostly funny when I'm drunk texting, but like was that arrogant? Like,
no.
Like, I'm bothering them. Like, I'm obnoxious. Like, I think I'm hilarious when I'm wasted, but it's mostly like, I'm friends with all of my exes unless I hate your guts and then you're dead to me. So it's like one of my exes, I started to, I forgot, I don't even remember half of the conversation, but he's like, I was like, how are you? And he's like, oh, I'm always good. And then I was like, yeah, you are. And then
no,
I did. And then I laughed at my own text message via text message.
And I think his girlfriend found it hilarious too, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, are they LOLing or what?
He finds it funny. He doesn't mind at all.
Okay, so he doesn't have a girlfriend.
I don't think so. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? It's more a one-way conversation when I'm drunk.
This is so funny. I'm totally friends with my exes. I don't know what they do with their life.
Right.
Well, I'm funny, but that's it.
I don't know. Well, I know one of them doesn't have a girlfriend. Him, I don't know what's going on with him. Because, I mean, this dude, I've got to stop talking about him on podcasts. All right, I'm not going to blow up his spot, but I have a feeling that he sleeps with a lot of women, like a lot. Like, to the point where I texted him when my test results were negative. I sent him a fake thank you card.
Will you drunk text to hook up? Huh?
No, I mostly do that sober. I mean,
Are you good at it sober?
no, I this was the saddest thing because it's like I'm so busy. Like when I was working on Knockout, like when we're filming, it's 12-hour days, so it's like noon to midnight. So it's like I never have time to go on a date or do anything. So there was a point where I didn't have a show after work, and it was midnight, and the company was giving us like an Uber. So I was like, oh shit, I can hook up with somebody. And the writers saw me cold calling exes. Like I was trying to sell a refrigerator. And one of them walked out of the room. He's like, I can't. He's like, you're better than this. And I'm like, I'm not.
I got an Uber. Let's start cold calling.
It was so pathetic because one of them was about to go. The one I drunk text all the time was about to go to bed, and I was like, "Wait." He's like, "Yeah, I've got this conference in the morning." I was like, "I've got an Uber. I can be there in 30 minutes." And I'm like, "Am I treating my vagina like it's a Domino's pizza right now?" I'm like, "Are you?"
It's like Subah's looking at the menu, appetizer, and they go, "Oh, the dinner's on me." Oh, I didn't know that. And she looks at the steaks and the shrimp.
Did you end up hooking up?
No, that was the worst part of it. Like the writers must think I'm so thirsty because there was another time where I came decked out in like a mini skirt and I had my makeup done and my hair done. They're like, "Why are you?" I'm like, "Oh, we're just going out." And then they got me to admit I had someone who was supposed to come to the studio, and then he ended up having to work, and that was even more embarrassing.
It's like you're just walking around with flowers.
I know. So bad.
I picture her in the Uber, like, just drive me around this house a couple times. It's your dime, baby. Subah, her tweet account, by the way, at Subah, Subhah. I just split my toenail because I dreamt I was playing soccer and tried to punt my bedroom wall. Hashtag FML, hashtag why. Were you you're just daydreaming and you kick the wall?
It was a vivid dream. Like I remember like the soccer ball being right behind someone who was trying to guard me, and I was like, I can kick it, and then I woke up in pain. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh my God, did I just kick my bedroom wall?
Do you play soccer?
I used to when I was little, but it was so weird.
That's so interesting.
I know.
What are you repressing?
I think it was stress dreams because, like, really, I mean, I love the job, but working 12-hour days and, like, a basement in a studio, being trapped in there for so many weeks, like, I started going nuts. Like, I would, like just not even consciously do shit. Like, they had this crudité platter, and I love vegetables, and I picked up 2 cucumbers, and I just went, veggies, veggies, veggies. Like, I just...
like the maracas.
There was a comic sitting right there. He's like, was I supposed to see that? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't know what that was.
What if you just say all these things? You're working on skits. You're writing things. It's like looks like that one didn't go anywhere, but you got to try. I started with veggies, veggies, veggies. And I'm like, okay, nothing's sticking on that one. But you know, us comics, we gotta look silly.
I was literally losing my mind and having like vivid. I normally don't dream, but when I was working towards the end of that job, I was having very vivid dreams.
I just like what you think the best parts of your job are. Is like the occasional Uber to try to get sex and veggies, veggies, veggies.
I happen to love them. I happen to love veggies, so it's a whole plate for me. The team understands they're mostly for me. That's nice of them. Well, yeah, it is clever of you how you let the audience know that you are negative when it comes to sexual diseases. So good for you. That should work out. I had my yearly blood test. You can see by this big black and blue mark that's forming.
Oh, wow. You really bruised up.
Oh, yeah.
I had that too. Now that I think about it, I'm waiting for results.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
They gave me, they said, pee in this cup. And I'm like, I really want you to check everything. So I left sperm. And we'll see how that goes in a little bit. And then I leave. I'll find out the results in a week. I get to the studio, and I start drinking soda and having ice cream because fuck them. Like, they don't know now. They're getting old results. They don't know what I'm really up to. Gotcha. I just had 2 ice cream sandwiches.
His doctor's like, I don't know what happened. He was so healthy. He just dropped dead.
My doctor said that if there's something wrong, I'll probably hear from her 3 to 4 weeks. And then if not, then... maybe, but they're so backlogged that they'll probably not bother. So I think it's good. No word, you guys.
That's so stressful.
What am I stressed about? What's going to come up?
That's
I
true.
don't know.
I think you're supposed to show up regardless for the follow-up.
Oh, I think I could look it up, or like eventually it'll get there, or I can call myself.
Look it up. That's what I wanted online.
My
I don't
doctor
remember.
does that. They
Really?
just email the results, which I like because I get pinged right away. It's like negative, negative, negative. I was like, yeah.
I know, but that could bum out a day, or if
That
you're in
could bum
public.
out a day.
It says, before you open it, are you sitting down? Click yes.
Yeah, it comes up into your time.
Yeah. They're talking about banning Russia from the Olympics because everybody there is being tested positive for, performance-enhancing drugs. In fact, Russia is sponsoring these drugs. It's a state-run program. You know what I mean? It's not like a few athletes here doing it with their managers. Russia is saying, as a government, hey, fucking bulk up.
To everybody.
To everybody. And they keep catching people. And now, your major countries, U.S., Germany, Spain, Japan, Switzerland, Canada, they're all getting together and deciding, do they ban Russia?
They just were looking for a reason
Right.
for the longest time. And they finally something matched. You know what? I am so sorry to say Russians are the least funny people ever. And now, their bulky fat heads will be trying to tell jokes. What is wrong with me? It's Subhah's fault. Let's all just admit it.
I'm trying to think, like the comedy scene, those funny Russians. I'm just on to something.
Oh, God, Keith thinks I'm on to something. Fuck. Where have I gone?
All right, let's talk about some news. Bill Cosby is now completely blind, the poor guy.
Oh, shit.
And he's living in his, quote, own personal hell. That's tough. He has no friends.
I would love to live in his own personal hell.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
probably a relief from everybody else's hell.
His own personal hell has 2 swimming pools.
Right.
His only friends are the small army of lawyers on his payroll.
Wow.
Camille is still on his side, of course. He has a degenerative eye disease, supposedly. I mean, now's a good time to
not see
be
what
able
you're
to
doing.
see, like, like, did you and her, like, I can't
Suge
see.
Knight, they're all going blind.
Yeah, it's a trick. He turned 79 on July 12th. So, congrats. Everybody should have at least one day. A judge this month ruled that Cosby will stand trial on sexual assault charges at a date yet to be determined.
Even though he's blind, this poor guy?
Yeah, assholes, just let it go.
Are we not taking a moment?
Cosby faces 3 counts of felony aggravated indecent assault from a 2004 case involving Andrea Constant, an employee at his alma mater, Temple University. She was the first of the women to accuse Cosby. Also, a judge in his civil case ruled Cosby will be allowed to sue Constant, who claims he drugged and raped her in 2004 for breaching a confidentiality agreement she signed with him after he settled with her out of court in 2006. Good. Breach it. Fuck him.
I know.
How much does she have to, what does she have to do for breach?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I bet she can raise that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
there's
that's
no way
true.
that GoFundMe isn't going to get sponsored.
Yeah. I mean, it's just extra shit that she has to deal with constantly.
Right.
Now, I bet if you Google her name, that's the first thing that comes up. I bet no one could repeat her name, and we just said it.
Andrea Constant. You said the word constantly.
I would like to note that 1 person out of 6 just said her name.
All right, let me mention this. Blue Apron. I don't know if you guys out there know
But
about
I'll ask you constantly.
You did it again.
Thank you. Continue.
Blue Apron. Okay? This is how I cook. They send you the ingredient. Now, I know you love veggies, right? Okay. So picture, you don't want veggies to spoil, but what are you going to do? You got to buy everything in bulk nowadays. Not with Blue Apron. They send you exactly the ingredients you need, no more, no less, and tells you exactly how to make it, and you're making 5-star meals.
That's one of the biggest deals is the spices. They only send you the amount of spices
Oh, they
that
send
you
you
need.
the spices.
Yeah, because a lot of times the spices are, probably more exotic than what you would get, right? Because you have the oregano, maybe like the dry parsley if you got a little,
Adobo.
you got a little veggies that day. You got a little excited. But, they're talking about stuff that I can't even, za'atar. I'm not buying that, not like a buttload of it.
Yeah, I love these guys. Check out this week's menu at blueapron.com/KATG. They will give you your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. That's blueapron.com/KATG. You will love how good it feels and tastes. Everything's fresh.
I made empanadas.
See? Incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron.
I was so scared to do it because I'm like, this is where I'm going to mess up because I have a heavy hand. And empanadas, you have to like mess with dough. Oh, I'm posting a picture of it. Oh my God. You should hear me while I eat my Blue Apron. I'm like, oh, I made this.
I made this.
Oh my God.
Oh, she cries.
Oh, I'm still eating it. So good. Oh my God. Oh, the flavors. I don't have any extra spices. This is great.
It's a better way to cook. You heard the story about the cop.
Wait, to get your free meals, it's blueapron.com/KATG. Continue.
Thank you, Hemda.
Thanks. You're welcome. Come on.
There's a guy was 2 years on the police force, and he was drunk, and he ran into pedestrians, killed 4.
Oh.
And I'm seeing a picture of him with like 13 shots in front of him. You know, this was taken at a different time, but just 13 shots, and he's like hugging them to show like, yeah, I like to fucking party. You're a cop. I don't have a picture of me in 14 shots. What the fuck is wrong with people? Bystanders were hit when the drunken off-duty cop took his SUV. He sped it into a Brooklyn pedestrian and injured his college pals.
Were they white?
You know what?
Because I bet cops are going to be like, see, we kill white people too.
Right. The officer was swerving in the seconds before the impact. His runaway SUV tore the leg off one victim and left another impaled on a fence.
Yikes. Ooh.
The inebriated second-year cop flashed his badge.
No.
It's okay, guys. I'm a police officer. And slipped into the SUV's passenger seat about 3 a.m. on Saturday.
I didn't do it.
Right. He was a utility pole was blocking the main door, the driver's side door. He was charged with manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter. You already said manslaughter. Why you adding it's a car?
Because we went, a lot of times on that one.
3 counts of assault, driving while intoxicated, driving with impaired ability. Again, that's the same, Your Honor. And driving on a sidewalk, like that matters. Okay, will you take away the driving on a sidewalk?
That's just a ticket, though.
Right. All 4 victims were Massachusetts Institute of Technology graduates living in Williamsburg, headed home after getting off the L train.
Oh, shit.
No.
So I guess they're not all dead. The shocking crash occurred just 4 hours before the cop was due for a 7 a.m. shift. So he was going to go to work.
Was he?
He's a former corrections officer. He's 28 years old. He was arrested at the scene and immediately suspended from the force. He tried everything. He tried a PBA card, right?
Yeah. I wonder if that was his bottom.
According to witnesses, the drunken cop first attempted to throw the SUV in reverse after the vehicle crashed.
Well, yeah.
But the car kept lurching forward, slamming into a townhouse stoop. I'm just going to try to back up. No? Okay. Hey, guys.
I'm a cop.
I'm still here.
What's going on?
Yeah. The cop charged with drunkenly mowing down 4 pedestrians in Brooklyn is, quote, a great guy, says one of his pals.
So? Who cares? Is that the question?
I just want you to know. I don't know how you judge great people.
Yeah. That's cool.
He definitely didn't mean for anything to happen. That's a guaranteed fact, says his pal.
Too soon, bitch. This is all information nobody cares about at the moment.
His older brother, John, died from cocaine and booze binge.
Shit.
And the brother's, quote, been really hard. It's been hard for him to deal with, so give him a break.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else is hard to deal with? This new scenario he came up with. Yeah.
Here's another story. When a late-night Taco Bell drive-thru customer in Milwaukee got home and discovered that his order did not include sour cream that he had asked for in his defense, he phoned and was told the place had closed for the night, but he could return for a free meal the next day.
This is exactly on my prank call CD.
He returned to the eatery with a gun
Except for this part.
and took shots at the bulletproof drive-thru window and fled.
Oh, my God.
Well, you need your meal now. What good? Now, what good is it going to be? First of all, Sometimes without the sauce, the meal's bullshit.
I'm happy to see a fellow citizen exercising their Second Amendment rights.
I remember Thomas Jefferson thinking one day, because they had sauces back then too. Ice Cube was asked, with everything that's going on, are you still going to, in concerts, play the song Fuck the Police?
I mean, he's super going to play it, right?
He's confused why he would even be asked that. He goes, why? Why? Yeah.
The Police is a legendary song. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about maybe not performing it anymore? Or
Nah.
You'll continue to perform it?
Yeah.
Well, what is your mindset behind that? Has anyone came at you and
Well, that's the alarm when you say stupid shit.
pressured you to do that?
Pressure.
To stop
Pressure me to do what?
To stop performing the Police?
No. Nobody said nothing to me. I ain't gonna change nothing I do. You know what I mean? Because I ain't doing nothing wrong.
I hear that. I hear that.
Oh, y'all have a nice day. All right, take care.
And thanks for the amazing interview.
Exactly. That's such a dumb interview. He didn't want to say why can't you consider this, that, and then he would have to think of an actual question. He just wanted him to fill in the blanks.
Right.
But of course he's going to still say that. It came from this.
Right.
Fuck the Police came from all this nonsense that he lived through and other people lived through. What the fuck? Now when it actually...
People are shooting the police.
I could see why he wouldn't, why you would ask that, but it's then you would have to ask him to make moral decisions on all of their catalog. And it's keep the one about fucking bitches, but can you drop the, I mean, this is it.
Right.
I mean, I get it. I don't think it's productive it's kind of one of those things where I wish we could shatter the blue wall and then shatter that conception. If everyone just stopped seeing each other as groups and started focusing on those of us who aren't ignorant assholes and could work together to create a better situation, that would be great. There's this article I was reading about this guy who's I forgot what town he was from. He was some police chief, but his older brother was murdered by the cops. And he had some other relative die because of drug violence. So he joined the police to try and fix both of those problems. And I'm you have to acknowledge there are good officers. And this was, of course, a minority officer. I'm there's good police officers out there. So
I really, honestly, I really don't. And I'll tell you why.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because they're not acknowledging that I'm a good podcaster. And they're not acknowledging that you're a good writer. And we don't have to acknowledge it. You know who has to acknowledge it? Their bosses and the paycheck that they get. No, we don't have to acknowledge it. It should be a given that there are good cops. We're not focused on them. I'm so sorry that they're not getting thank yous all over the place for saving the kitty and the grown adult or the kid or whatever. I'm so sorry. No, I don't want to acknowledge it. I mean, great. Let's not remember. My God, the fact that we could name them, the fact that it does.
Right. I have a friend who swears they have a friend.
Yeah, come on.
Did you see that whole police? What town was that? Where it's they've gone through 4 police chiefs.
Right.
It was so corrupt. They were involved in.
Maybe it's time to focus on
scandals and. What do you know? What town?
I know what you're talking about.
I forgot what city
Oakland.
it was. Oakland. Yeah, it was so corrupt that they had to keep firing officers. Isn't that insane?
Yeah. Yes, that's the whole point. Yes, it's too insane. It's too far. And I yes, of course, on a human level, I feel bad for these people on their day to day where they did join the police force to make a change. But that is why you do it. Yeah. The government shouldn't get credit. We're getting mad at them when they fuck up. That's when you're going to hear from us. Yeah. That's it. Your boss doesn't thank you every day for coming in, do they? Jesus, no.
No, they don't.
No, they do not.
Lyrics in Fuck the Police include, I'm a sniper with a hell of a scope, taking out a cop or two. They can't cope with me. I do get, it is weird to go for his response, though. Even though it is a stupid question, for his response to be, why? Well, you know why.
No, you explain to me why then. Enough. I already did this decades ago, and I explained it, and you asked me some motherfucking stupid questions. Now when we're more awake, when you're seeing videos if this shit happened, you're still going to ask me why? What's the answer? You fucking answer it. It's enough with the dumb fucking questions. Now I get to go, I don't know. What do you want? Nope. Fill it
It
in.
is weird because that song's so old and such a classic to be like, are you going to stop? That's because it's like,
Right. What else do we got?
Figure out why it's a classic. Why was it a classic? It was yet another time where people were being oppressed and somebody said, you know what? Fuck this other side. We're going to say it loud and proud and we're going to act like we also have power so that this side can see a little bit of, I don't know, something. Sometimes you just want to yell. So no, I'm not going to stop saying fuck the police. No, that question was asked 2 decades ago. It's over.
Or I guess we play a bitch is a bitch again. It's up to you guys.
Right, and then there's that. Like, that's amazing. It is also amazing that it doesn't cross into things. That some people will be all very rah-rah about, Black Lives Matter, but, they don't realize how misogynistic they're being on a daily basis.
Oakland had 4 police chiefs in 10 days.
that's what it was. It was something crazy. Yeah.
But some of those cops are really good in Oakland in that department.
Well, it would be so much better if there wasn't I get that environment creates that type of camaraderie, but if there was just more, I don't even know how you would begin the oversight. It's like there's body cams, but that's just putting more of it.
Well, they got to
It's
find a
not
way.
even stopping the violence.
Because apparently these body cams keep falling off, right?
That's bullshit. Yeah.
You think so, Ken?
I know. But then there's nothing else to say there. Of course, that's bullshit. But yeah, body cams, I think, is a start. I think, now that we are seeing tapes of these things, it's a lot harder to refute it. It's a lot harder to argue it. So yeah, that's a start. And also another one is you want to be a good cop, you tell on the bad cops.
That's what I'm talking about. I wish there wasn't, you know what I mean? If there was.
Or you find another job.
Yeah.
And I know that it's very willy-nilly to just be find another job. You just went through the academy and you realize this is a very corrupt system. So you either have to play within the system and try to work your best and go to work just like everybody else, or you quit your job, but you don't ask for thanks. And I understand it is very difficult for a good guy to come against the bad guy, and it does change your life. But that's on you at some point, right? It has to be taken off of me. I did not do this.
I didn't do it either.
It's good as a white man to say that every once in a while.
All right, here's some fun news. The great Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones.
I bet he has a lot of great lyrics.
He has a lot of great children. He's 72 years old. He just had his 8th child. I guess his girlfriend had it, but the girlfriend is 29.
You ever wonder how many kids those guys would have if they actually did have to give birth? Do you think it'd be 8
0.
still? Yeah.
It'd be an 8th.
Yeah. It'd be mushroom amount.
She's 29. He's 72. I bet those are good talks.
You like what you like.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So he has grandkids
that are older than her.
His kids, first of all, range from 17 to 48.
Okay.
That's funny when you're dating somebody younger than your kid.
Yeah. I think she's going for funny here.
Steve Martin, speaking about funny, he became a first-time dad in 2013. He was 67.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean, what's the difference? He was really going to raise them.
Sperm. There's no way. What's this kid like? There's no way that kid's normal.
Right.
Dusty sperm.
Alec Baldwin's 58. He gave birth. His girlfriend's 32. What? What is going on?
What do you think?
Oh, my Lord. Well. Ronnie Wood, the guitarist for Rolling Stones. He gave birth also. He's 69. His Jesus Christ, these are numbers. He's 69. She's 38. They're in love. There you go. It's just funny.
Isn't it funny that you and your wife had to prove your love to each other?
Yeah.
To the government?
Right,
Do you remember that? Do you remember all the paperwork you had to fill out?
Here's pictures. Her toothbrush is green.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Because she's from Ireland, because she's not here. And so they had to prove to the government that they love each other. But this we believe.
Leslie Jones is upset that people are giving her a hard time for being in Ghostbusters. And they're saying, oh, your character is just a regular MTA worker and joins the Ghostbusters. Why can't your character be a scientist or something like that? Like the other ladies.
Is she the only one that's not a scientist
Yes.
in the group?
Yeah.
Oh.
But they're giving her the shit.
But that's not her call.
Right. She should make herself a
Yeah.
scientist.
Yeah.
She throws lines in there. It's
I
like,
know.
as a previous scientist before this MTA job,
Yeah, why couldn't you make this half of a beautiful mind? Could you
Right.
just be solving equations on your MTA booth? Could you please?
but she's letting people like really get to her. She says, why can't a regular person be a Ghostbuster? I'm confused. And why can't I be the one who plays them? I am a performer. Just go see the movie.
Okay, so I have a couple of thoughts on that. Like, I get it. It's the same thing. The same argument I have when people are like, "Why is Indy I don't like when people try and tear down like stereotypic Indian things." I'm like, fight for diversity. Don't fight against that as a negative thing, because then you're making like all the people of color who do work for the MTA, and then you're like, "Oh, this is embarrassing." It's like, what are you really saying here?
Right.
What you should be saying is that we've seen minority actors in the service industry, in the movies for the longest time, and we want more. So I think instead of sitting there and criticizing that as a negative thing, you should be like, this is great that this, which first of all, you have to acknowledge that this is a step in the right direction in terms of diversity. It's an all-female cast. Leslie's finally getting an overdue career break. It's like support, like if you want her to be in charge and be able to make more decisions where it's like, hey, maybe she's not an MTA worker. Maybe she could write another script, which like she had nothing to do with that decision. Why not support her in her career instead of sitting here like being like, oh, you suck. Why would you play? You know what I mean?
Right. It'd be
Right.
funny.
She played it so well that people are like, why are you working at the MTA now?
What bothered me about her character is that she's a friendly MTA toll booth worker. And you know what? The part about ghosts I believed more. Don't bullshit me. There's fantasy and then there's bullshit. On Twitter, Joan said her character shouldn't be broken down to a, quote, man, woman, race, class thing. It's a Ghostbusters thing. And as far as I'm concerned, we all Ghostbusters. Stand tall. So there you go. Today, we're all a Ghostbuster. She also shared a note from an MTA token booth clerk who said, the fact that my position as a clerk is the most abused by society, I feel Jones's Ghostbusters role may give us a semblance of humanness. Fuck you. I've never seen a good... That's like the cops were saying. I'm sure there's a good MTA worker out there. Yeah, right. Name one. And all of a sudden, we're the most abused. You abuse us. You're in that little booth of yours, and you know you can say whatever you want. Is this train running? What? The train, the only train that comes here, is it running? Sometimes it doesn't. Check the walls.
Ugh, I so want to argue with him because I'm just like, you know what? That is a very difficult job. I've worked retail. People are monsters.
They really are nasty.
But you know what? Honestly, are the trains running or not? That's all I need to know. Please, please, you know I'm going to wait. Hennessy waited for 2 hours the other day for a train because you start being chip committed. You're like, well, I could have taken a cab an hour ago, so I'm going to sit here. It's going to come in 10 minutes. Turns out probably, I called at 2 a.m. I'm like, 2 hours ago when I was falling asleep, you were heading towards the train. Are you okay? I don't know. I'm trying to be good about money. I'm like, you better get in a cab.
Right.
That's so nerve-wracking. 2 hours, and it never came.
My wife's sandal fell in the tracks waiting for a train. And coincidentally, there happened to be a sign right there. Don't go into the tracks, let an MTA worker know. So I go to the toll booth, and I go, I dropped something on the tracks. How do we get it? I don't know. You're not even embarrassed. I go, okay, thanks. And then I leave. I'll get it myself. And she goes, you can't get it yourself. And
Well, you don't know.
And I said, well, that's a challenge. Okay. So I go and I get it myself. And that's it. Thanks for your help. I'm dead now.
Oh, should we be ghost busting? We are women.
Leslie Jones wrote on Twitter to people complaining about her in the movie, who gives a fuck, dude? It's a movie. Shut up and go watch. Oh, my God. It's not science, actually. You guys bitch about nothing.
That's actually,
hysterical.
that's actually.
That is really funny.
That's the entire response.
If they made me a scientist, you would be mad at what type of scientist. Seriously, it's a fucking movie. Get over yourself.
But it must be frustrating that she's like finally becoming like, because they were like, no black females on SNL, and then she was on SNL, and they criticized the joke she made, and it was like, oh, this is too controversial. Why would you do this? And then she's a woman of color and one of the lead actresses in the Ghostbusters, and she's getting all this criticism. It's almost like it's part of that unspoken, like that's the difference. That's the privilege. It's like if you're just a white female, no one's going to sit there and scrutinize everything you're doing. But when you're a minority in such a predominantly white field, you don't represent you represent everybody. So what everyone wants is now somehow your fault or your responsibility. So I feel it's like I get why she's so. That's gonna be so annoying.
I also get the understanding that like people don't understand that they're not seeing this a lot. I think that, you know, when we don't think about it, we think, yeah, we see women in movies all the time. They seem to have, you know.
They're running in high heels.
Right. That's the thing. We forget that that's how we're seeing them. We forget that if they do have lines, they mostly have the dumbest fucking lines that only support their dumb shit.
Jason won't call me back.
Yeah. But what we're seeing is, you know, this is our favorite movie and these people are going to destroy it. And it's like, what the fuck? Did you see the script ahead of time that you know they're going to terribly bust these ghosts?
I mean, they didn't burn all the old copies. It's like, if you don't want to watch the old shit, just go watch the old shit. It's not like they're rewriting history.
Right. It's history.
It's not an actual textbook, you know?
Now, I don't know what Leslie's saying here. I love my job, and I enjoy engaging people with information infused with humor. So first, I guess the information is how to bust ghosts, and then a little humor in there, you know, a little spoonful of sugar. I enjoy engaging people with information infused with humor. Leslie is a comedian. She's a larger-than-life personality, and it's the first thing we see no matter what role she gets. As she grows, she will be able to tap into her greatness. Now, these are all tweets that run into each other. I am supporting this movie because I see me.
And who is this?
Leslie Jones.
Oh, okay.
Talking about Leslie Jones.
Wait, what?
Black is cracking.
We're getting a no.
This is an
Go for it.
MTA worker.
It's an MTA work, but she's just writing it.
She retweeted.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a retweet, though, but okay. Why can't a regular person be a Ghostbuster? I'm confused. And why can't I be the one who plays them? I'm a performer. Just go see the movie. She does love yelling. Just see the fucking movie. I'm in it, goddammit. Make it number one.
You get pushed.
Hey, you haven't seen the movie yet. You don't know what the fuck my character is. You buy a trailer. Oh, my God. Y'all that arrogant. So is MTA worker trash? Oh, she made more sense when she retweeted.
No, y'all that ignorant that MTA workers trash? Are you that ignorant that you think MTA worker is trash?
That's what I was saying. It's kind of like you're like putting down working class people being, why isn't she assigned to?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just say you want more diversity. Like there's so much, like, I don't know. People are idiots.
Regular people save the world every day. So if I'm the stereotype, then so be it. We walk among heroes and take them for granted. The MTA heroes. Fuck, come on. Yeah, come on. It's not a man, woman, race, or class thing. It's a Ghostbuster thing. She thinks she's a real Ghostbuster.
You know what? This makes sense. Everything she's saying makes sense.
You haven't seen the movie yet, people. Are y'all crazy? Because that's how you sound. Yes, Leslie. We are a little crazy.
I guess it's so weird that it's kind of sad after that many years of doing stand-up that she still gets bothered by that, because that means I'm going to always be bothered by this. You know what I mean? Because, like, do you know how hard it is not to reply to these fuckheads on, like, I barely get anything on my Instagram or Twitter, and when I do, it's so hard. And Leslie, she's like this SNL in movies, and she's still sitting there arguing with some dude tweeting with his pants off in the shitter of a Quiznos.
Who didn't think twice that this was going to affect her and how she feels about her career this much.
Like, that's the thing is, like, people, they don't understand how incredibly insecure celebrities are.
Yeah, there's
like,
just another human being on the other line of that.
I know.
Yeah.
I used to do math videos, and like the comments I would get were fucking insane.
On just how to do math.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong a lot of the time.
But it doesn't sound like they were correcting you on how wrong you were.
No, I was only wrong a little bit. It was like...
it's not like math is a science.
Because it's like once you do math for at that point, well, now I've forgotten everything, but at that point I was still fairly fresh out of college, and I was studying financial mathematics, and then they would ask me a geometry question. So I would just puppet something I looked up on Wikipedia, because I don't remember high school. Like, who? And I would maybe I would say something wrong, or I would draw the wrong diagram. Like, once I drew 11 boxes and said it was 10, and people like, since this dumb bitch doesn't know what she's doing. Like, I would just get the most hateful comments.
This dumb bitch. Listen, as a member of Princeton. I do not appreciate the boxes.
You're watching the math video, you bitch.
Yeah, let me guess, Indian.
But we still do that. Don't forget that it's part of your job to make fun of other people, including celebrities. So you are pushing it out there. This is not to me. This is not. Oh, this is going to happen to me forever. It's more like when we saw MC Hammer, his horrendous story after he got millions of dollars and lost it all, and how he lost it all. It was more of a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters star Leslie Jones has quit Twitter.
Good.
She did.
With
Good for
tears
her.
and a very sad heart, she says.
Yeah, some
That's
people need to
okay.
stay off Twitter.
She said she was called an ape
Oof.
and even got a picture of semen on my face. Well, who hasn't?
Well, yeah, I've had that. Yeah,
Right.
definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Jones
I mean,
is...
in
Are we
real
counting
life and in
selfies?
yeah, well, both. Yeah.
Jones, guess how old she is? 48.
Oh, wow.
That could also be a big part of it. If she's not used to this like this, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
She's used to it.
when you, I don't know. It's
Twitter's
like,
been around for like 10 years now. She's been on it for at least a few.
Okay, but you're 40 when somebody finally starts picking on you.
yeah.
Luckily, this generation, you get picked on right
Yeah,
away, right out the womb. You came out wrong. Fuck you. You call that afterbirth? You know?
People are live tweeting births. So
Because
yeah,
I feel like you
yes.
get so much more accustomed to random internet bullshit when you come up in it. So I think that could be part of it.
After years of SNL, you're getting bad shit. I think sometimes it just hits you bad. It's like you're supposed to be. This is probably the biggest celebration of her life, and she's getting a lot of shit. It might have just
Yeah.
hit her wrong at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That's very hard to deal with. And you know what? Getting off of Twitter, great. Get off of Twitter for a minute.
I'll find you on Facebook, bitch. I feel like I'm in a personal hell. I didn't do anything to deserve this. It's just too much. It shouldn't be like this. So hurt right now.
Leslie said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I used to wonder why some celebs don't have Twitter accounts, and now I get it. You can't be nice and communicate with fans because people crazy. Twitter, I understand you got free speech. I get it. This is where she's talking to Twitter. I think black cracked. But there has to be some guideline when you let spread like that. You can see on the profiles that some of these people are crazy sick. It's not enough to freeze account. They should be reported. I leave Twitter tonight with tears and a very sad heart. All this because I did a movie. You can hate the movie, but shit I got today, wrong.
Hopefully she will be around people who are more supportive and will remove herself from these comments because she should be celebrating now. She also got to have a really great moment. This is kind of weird piggybacking on that, but she was on The View. And she said how when she first saw Whoopi Goldberg, like she was way into comedy. She knew, her dad would get her VHS tapes and things like that. And when she saw Whoopi Goldberg on TV in a movie or something like that, she started crying because she's like, oh, that means I can be on TV. That means that this
so
could happen.
cute. Yeah,
she got to
that's
say that
adorable.
to Whoopi, and she cried, and it was great. So hopefully she can have more of those moments while she's off Twitter to balance it out. Because, everyone, if you're that much in the public eye, half the people are going to hate you, and it's just
I really do think it's just learning that. Like I honestly I think it's a generation gap, because imagine if you're like, oh, this is a tool I use to because that's probably how she was introduced to Twitter. I mean, she's like, who's just
it's the same. I'm 40. There's no age gap between 40 and 48 in terms of Twitter. We probably started around the same time if she didn't start sooner. I don't think that I'm like, oh, these Twitter fucks are bothering me. It just gets to you sometimes.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we got attacked day one, over 11 years ago.
Right.
It sounds like she's just getting attacked now, and maybe it hits her
I
weird
think
because
it's like
later.
her first time dealing with
Yeah.
something that much hatred.
Yeah,
Like,
instead of going, oh, here's a crazy person. Like somebody's attacking me now on today on Twitter, but they don't understand. I've been attacked so much.
that you don't give a shit.
I can give a fuck.
Even
It's
though
funny.
she was on SNL for
I think
a while, and the internet did exist when she first got on there, and she is a
I
black
hear you.
woman on SNL.
Well, something's going on. You were talking about her on The View. Oh, she is a firecracker on live TV.
It was like I picked up the phone. Man, I can't believe these designers are not fucking with it. Was
By the way, how great that none of these people on ththese live shows know how to deal with a mistake like that. You should have drills.
Right.
You're not really live, and you practice
Right.
like like you have to do as a flight attendant. Pretend the plane's going down. They said it. They said that.
Yeah.
They said it.
Yeah, they're acting like 3-year-olds who heard a bad word. Mommy said fuck. Right. Yeah, it's okay. Everyone watching The View is a grown-ass adult.
And then they always lie, like you didn't hear what you thought you heard.
We got it. We got it. That got bleeped, I never.
We got it. That got bleeped. You may have heard it at your home, but you're wrong. You made it up in your own head, and we should sue you. FCC should go to your house. We bleeped it.
Yeah.
As you remember.
So stupid. That's so dumb. Libby's writing in, it's not just people not being a fan of her, it's thousands of violent, racist, and misogynistic tweets.
Yeah.
I think there is a difference in the level. I think she's right. I think Libby's right. There's a difference in the level of how many tweets are now coming at her. There's no way she wasn't getting this, and there's no way it's because she's 48.
No, I just meant the volume of it. Because, like, Ricky Velez, he works for the Nightly Show. Like, he's been attacked so many times, and it's been, like, that level.
But maybe this is her first
That's what I mean.
level.
I think that's, like, it's her first time getting this much hatred.
I think we're saying the same thing, yeah. Are you into Pokemon Go on a happier note?
Yeah, I've used it. It's all right.
Did you only use it because you know you're supposed to be on top of everything as a comic?
Partially that. I mean, I like video games, so I was like, oh, maybe this is fun. It's okay. It's not. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd have to walk around. What the fuck kind of game is that? That's not why you play games. Go somewhere. What?
They're like mugging people now because they know where all the nerds are going to be. It's terrible.
Nintendo's shares had another banner day on Tuesday. Shares have risen by more than 120% since July 6th, adding $23 billion to Nintendo's market value. The company is now worth $42.5 billion. That's more than Sony, Canon, Panasonic, Toshiba. Pokemon Go is a legitimate sensation, ranking as the top free downloaded app on both Apple's App Store and Google's Play for Android devices.
And I swear to God, if anyone in that company is making less than $15 an hour, I don't even know what to say to this
Right.
fucking place. Nintendo, I'm looking at you now.
Honestly, it's fun to do when I'm on the phone with my mom because it doesn't take a lot of brain power to like throw a Pokeball at something. So it's very fun.
Keeps you occupied while your mom's telling you how much tomatoes cost this week.
Did you guys watch the Republican National Convention? How exciting.
Clips.
Yeah. Donald Trump's wife, Melania Trump, gave a speech.
Yeah, she did.
Right?
Did she?
She understood it would go very well because it went very well when Michelle Obama said it some years back, right? Back in 2008. Here's a little Michelle Obama and Melania last night. So 2008, Michelle, Melania last night.
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life. That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
My parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life.
This is Melania.
That your work
Yeah. No,
If you're confused.
Now, let me just explain. When they say my husband Barack, it's hard to tell, but usually it'll be...
your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
That you treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them and even if you don't agree with them.
That you treat people with respect. They thought and showed me values and morals in their daily life. That is a lesson that I continue to pass along to our son. And we need to pass those lessons
Our son, Chelsea.
on to the many generations to follow.
And Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values and to pass them on to the next generation because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because
One of these people got more applause breaks.
Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Your willingness to marry someone like Trump.
Right. Here's Melania again last night.
He will never, ever give up. And most importantly, he will never, ever let you down.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Very good, very good.
You know what? It wasn't even like the fabulous part of any speech. It was like,
Right.
And if you're good, good will come to you. If you're patient, people might be patient with you.
Donald Trump tried to defend her like that. She said, these are nothing words anyway. Anybody would say these words.
These are fillers for the women.
Right. And then I made a food star. It's not a food circle. It's a star.
Oh my God, this obsession with the food pyramid.
It's stupid. Come on,
God,
let's admit it.
Jesus.
I like that, Mrs.
You make me want to look more into it because it cannot be just a plate and a pyramid.
It's not a triangle anymore, Barack. It's a circle.
I think she was...
Huh?
That pyramid was horrible. It was saying that we need to eat mostly carbs and cereals, breads, things like that.
And now we eat off a plate.
Now
not an Egyptian pyramid.
She took away
Oh,
some of the...
how'd she do it? Oh, she's good.
I don't think you want to know.
Nah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think-
I'm sure it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it was the simplest.
Look what I did, Barack. That's great, honey. I got to decide if we let Russia in the Olympics. It's a circle with the things. Okay, you did great, honey. No smoking, though.
This is great. How does she smile? What does she wear?
Now, that's a good circle. You love it.
I do
I
love
didn't
it.
mean to pick on it too much. Yeah, so, of course, Donald Trump said, quote, very good speech by... Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Is this a joke? Very good speech by Michelle Obama. And under great pressure, them should be proud. Danny?
Trump tweeted that after Michelle gave that speech in 2008.
Oh, I see. Okay. Very, very good speech by Michelle. So he obviously heard this.
foreshadowing.
He obviously heard this speech before. But
I mean, he could just say great speech. I don't know that he has to hear it, but yeah, I guess it does elude that he has heard it before.
Right.
I mean, there's this whole thought of he's trying to throw the race. Like, sometimes it's like...
that Donald Trump's trying to throw the
It
race.
feels like this conspiracy theory. I'm like, how badly can you fuck up before you're like...
He's like, what if I say Mexicans are rapists? No? I'm still here? All right. I do not denounce the KKK in general.
Because you make so much money just by running, like, and he's using his own businesses to fund his campaign. So his businesses are making money, like campaign contributions are going
I don't think
to
he
his-
thinks it's going to stop once he becomes president, though. He just
that's
gains more power and more connections and more horrible, horrible deals.
They asked
funny.
Ben Affleck that your wife was just caught plagiarizing. Why are you standing? Why are you defending her?
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck.
He's so fucking classy and such a fucking gentleman.
All right, so he's a good guy, I guess. All right, thank you, Ben. Scott Baio was at the National Republican. How you doing?
Might as well call it that.
And he gave a speech that I'm sure was thrilling. I didn't take the time. But he put out a meme. He put out this tweet that says, this may be the best meme out there. Hashtag never Hillary. Hashtag, at real Donald Trump. And it's Hillary Clinton in front of a sign blocking out the O in the word count. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It says cunt. So there's a letter blocked. What difference does it make? Says the meme that really doesn't make sense.
Seriously?
And Scott Baio, the great Charles in Charge, is saying...
That's hysterical. It always works better when you explain the joke.
Right.
Scott Baio, who took care of 3 kids.
Yeah.
As a fake taking care of 3 kids guy, has something to say?
Uh-huh. As you remember, America, I was in charge of your days and your nights.
Your wrongs and your rights.
You wanted me in charge of you. Wow.
Can I vote for Hillary and also agree with that meme? Is that wrong? Is it wrong that I'm going to do both?
All right, so let me mention this. Subhah Agarwal, The Twitter account is Subhah, Subhah, and that's just polite, right? That's good manners. And
have you thought of just using your first name? I try to. People insist on putting a last name, especially if they're writing
really?
about you. Yeah, they tend to write
Oh,
by
you
their
mean
last name.
for like on stage and stuff.
Yeah.
I did, but then people started associating it with too much like Sinbad. They're like, oh, you're like Madonna. You're like Sinbad. And I'm like, no, you idiots can't pronounce 2 syllables. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I get.
Back. I was like, screw it.
I get Cher, and you're like Cher and Madonna. I'm like, or Chemda. Just be like, I can give you an extra word to give.
Did you hear that?
To pronounce.
Did you hear that Leslie Jones attitude, though? You idiots. I hope you're okay.
Tweet at her.
All right, don't forget KeithAndTheGirl.com. Everything you need Keith and the Girl related is right there. Also on social media, everything. Where if I have a breakdown, you want to see it? It's Keith and the Girl. All right?
Also, KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP. Join now. It really helps us out. Thank you, Subhah.
Thank you.